Hey buddies, Mr. Pugly here, coming at you in another Wonderland videos. There was two new items that were recently released as world drops, and I'm going to be covering one of them today. The first one is going to be the Thunder Anima. Now, the Thunder Anima is a assault rifle that is a Skulldugger, but it has a special effect as it heats up. It's actually a really fun gun. I've been having a lot of fun playing with it. It's one of the better mobbing assault rifles in the game right now, I feel, because of how fun it is. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch on top right. You have no idea how much helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
I do want to give a big shout out to the Discord member Wishkeeper. Wishkeeper is lucky enough to find a volatile version of this weapon, so if you're on my Discord, make sure to give him thanks in there because he is an MVP. He really just made this video possible, essentially. The one we have here is volatile, so keep in mind this is probably one of the better ones you could find because, you know, volatile equals more damage. Since I want to advertise how strong the mobbing situation with this weapon is, I am going to do a quick obelisk on a chaos chamber. So basically what it does is when you shoot it, normally it just shoots these regular old pellets, but as it heats up, it's going to then shoot ricocheting bullets that ricochet to nearby enemies. As you see there, it ricocheted between those two enemies, and I didn't even have to hit anything. I just had to hit the ground, and then it hit the enemy. As you see right here, it immediately went to that enemy and does lots and lots of damage. Remember, this only happens when it overheats, so you're not going to get this effect all the time, but the regular bullets do actually ricochet themselves as well, just once off of any surface that you actually hit it with. And this weapon can only spawn in shock as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen any others that aren't shock, and it's literally called Thunder Anima, so I would assume that's only in shock. But let me show you actually the damage of this weapon. So I'm just going to casually hit these guys. You'll notice that the damage isn't too great, and then suddenly it just does big bursts of damage. Now, the overheating ricocheting bullets do tons and tons of damage, and it pairs especially well with Spore Warden because of the fact that these can then ricochet off of one target with play the angles, and then the bullets themselves can also ricochet by themselves. If you're Spore Warden, you have play the angles, you're going to essentially see lots of ricocheting even when you don't have the overheat on. But when you do have the overheat on, it's especially deadly because you're going to see it ricochet a lot more with, of course, luck, but it does a lot of damage even without the random ricochets from play the angles. It is so fun. I do feel like the reload animation for when it overheats could be a little quicker because of the fact of how quickly it does actually overheat. So it's a bit unfortunate on that aspect. When you do have it active and actually hitting enemies, it does a fair bit of damage, and I think it's incredible. It's so fun to play around with. You saw there was just two enemies that spawned and immediately died, like, with no problem. It really does mostly shine when the overheat happens, so as long as you have enough fire rate, you should be able to get the overheat to happen pretty quickly. And of course, like every other weapon, it pairs pretty well with the Buffmeister because this shoots a ton of projectiles, and then, you know, more projectiles equals more buffs for Buffmeister. You saw right there, we pretty much just one-shot that dude. And I didn't comment on before, but that boss from the encounter that we're doing just died, like, immediately. It was very fun. See, the guy I wasn't even targeting in front of the crab died without me even, like, noticing him. It was incredible. I think this gun is a lot of fun. This is one of the more fun legendaries I've played around with in Wonderlands because not only does it have a really fun gimmick, it does a ton of damage, and I'm pretty sure it was buffed recently due to the fact, and I say it's buffed recently, but it only just came out, but Skulldugger assault rifles, I believe, were buffed recently, just about 6 days ago or 7 days ago. So that's also probably one of the reasons why this gun feels so good. I think this gun is a must-have, honestly, if you're doing mobbing. It is so fun. If you had a build that was optimizing shock damage, it would be even better. Like, because the build I'm doing is optimizing frost damage, like, and I'm dealing this much damage just with this build. Can you imagine if you're optimizing shock damage and dealing tons and tons of damage? I think if with the right setup, this gun is one of the better guns in the entire game, for assault rifles at least. Also, I forgot to mention, this cannot spawn in any enchantments for some reason. More than likely, this is a bug. It's probably not intended. So don't be surprised if you can't re-roll it. I can't re-roll it personally when I go to the re-roll machine, which is a bit unfortunate. But when it does have the ability to get an enchantment, it'll be even more powerful. And as always, a big shout out to the members who make these videos possible. We have Jace Noodles, Clairvoyance, Rick and Glacius, Super Noob, Josh Dig, 31 Bar 70, Dorman Tazzy, and Grey Wolf. These are the people who support me as little as $5 a month. month, and you can also support me as little as $5 a month by clicking the link in the comments description or in the top right to become a member. The more members we have, the closer I get to becoming full-time, which means more videos for you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on a wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.